All right, how do these $33 shorts off of Amazon compare to more premium training shorts? Let's dive in. So for a little bit of background here, regularly on my site and on my YouTube reviews of other training shorts from more premium brands, I get comments like, oh, this short's not that great. I could find $20, $30 shorts off Amazon that are just as good. So as somebody who loves a good deal, I have been buying more cost-efficient shorts off of Amazon and putting them to the test and then comparing them to more premium models that I personally like. And so this pair of shorts right here is the LRD. I like to imagine that they're called LRD because that's way more funny, but they are on Amazon. They are $33 and they are a 7-inch inseam short with a liner. They have some different options, but 7-inch inseam is my preferred. And I also like shorts with liners. So 3 pros that I have with this pair of shorts is number one, obviously their price point. So this pair of shorts cost around $33 USD. Now compared to other models that are like 68, 70 bucks, that is pretty dang good, and you can buy 2 pairs of these shorts basically for the price of one more premium training short from some of these other companies. And so if you do want a budget-friendly option, this could be a good short to explore, and that takes me into my second pro, and this adds a little bit of context to the price, is that honestly, this short has performed exceptionally well for its price point. So for lifting, more versatile training, and some more dynamic workouts, I've enjoyed this short for the most part. Now there are definitely some shortcomings of it, but if you want just a standard short that has a moderate level of stretch and a decent compression liner, then I think you will enjoy this short. It does pretty good across the board, and I think if you're more of like a recreational lifter and you don't want to drop a ton of money, I think you will enjoy the LRD's performance. Now my third pro with this short is that if you have thinner legs, I think you will really resonate with this short because one of my knocks against this model is a liner and its tightness, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I think if you do have thinner legs, this short might resonate really well with your anatomy. And if you are training and you constantly find like you're swimming in other pairs of training shorts, or like the shell is just a little bit too baggy, or like the liner is sliding up constantly because it doesn't hug your leg well, I think this short could be a really good option. And even if you have like moderately thick legs like myself, I wouldn't say I have thick legs by any means, I do think you'll resonate with this short as well. So this short is definitely going to be great for guys with thinner to like moderately muscular legs. But now let's talk about a few cons that I have with the LRD shorts. So 3 cons that I have with the LRD shorts is number one, I find their sizing to be a little bit off. So I'm a medium, had like a 32-inch waist. And so what I found with these shorts is that one, the waistband is a little bit interesting. I find the string a little bit hard to actually get tight. So for example, if you're trying to cross and then loop, you're not gonna likely be able to do that with this short if you do need to tighten them a lot. What I've been doing is doing bunny ears right away, and that does get the waistband more secure, but overall, I wish the waistband was a little bit better constructed because we don't have a ton of elastic and we have this thick string going through it, so you don't get the best security with the shorts waistband. And then to add to how the sizing is off, I find the compression liner to be a little bit snug at times. On lower body days, if I have like a quad pump, this is gonna be a little bit too restrictive for my means. So if you have thicker glutes and thicker quads, adductors, and hamstrings, you're probably gonna wanna pass on this short because I don't think it's gonna be the best for guys with thicker thighs, and that I mean that in a really good, endearing way because I'm envious of your thicker glutes and thicker legs. And so if you constantly struggle with shorts because of that, you're definitely going to pass on the LRD shorts in my opinion. The second con that I have with these shorts is that you kind of get what you pay for. So I've only washed this pair of shorts twice now, and I'm already having some fraying down here at the end of the liner. So as you can see, I have some loose strings, and so I'm not super stoked on that. That is a little bit worrisome because once this kind of blows out, I'm concerned that this is gonna be kind of like useless and it's gonna be a little bit floppy. So I would say if you're gonna invest in this short, you might wanna just put them in the wash and then not dry them. I've dried these twice on like low and more delicate settings and I'm still having some fraying there. So if you want these shorts to last, you might not wanna put them in the dryer. And when you wash them, you might wanna actually run them on cold and delicates as well. That's what I typically do for most of my apparel and shorts as is. And then my third con with this short is that I'm not the biggest fan of the pocket system. So the pockets are plenty deep, but what I've found is like, they're a little bit awkward, and if you put stuff into your pockets, they jut out a ton. And I'm not sure if that's because the shell in this short is a little bit thinner, and so if you do have meatier thighs, you will see your phone and like wallet pop out a lot more, but that is something that kind of hinders this short's performance for daily wear context. I like the back zip pocket, I do find that very useful, and that's a little bit more subtle, but with these side pockets here, I think if you're gonna stick like a modern day iPhone in them, they're gonna stick out a lot, and then if you go into like hip and knee flexion, the shell rides up and then the liner's long and then you have the pocket sticking out. It's just not really the best look for daily wear. wear. So that is one limitation of this short. If you're wearing a backpack and you could put your stuff into your backpack and then rock these, they should work perfectly well for daily wear. But if you have stuff in your pockets, I find these shorts to be a little bit awkward with their overall shell construction and how deep those pockets run. All right, to break down the performance of the LRD training shorts, I'll discuss how they perform for lifting, versatile training, shorter runs, and daily wear. In the context of lifting, these shorts do an okay job from like a more recreational lifting point of view. And I think if you have thinner or moderately muscular legs, these shorts should provide you with a nice level of security, and the shell does stretch enough to where I don't think it's going to be super limiting regarding letting you get into deeper positions when it comes to squats, lunges, etc. Now, my gripes with this short for lifting is number one, on lower body days, I'm not a big fan of how tight this liner is. Now, it's not necessarily the tightness of the liner through the groin area, it's more towards the bottom of this liner. With this single stitch here, we don't have a ton of tightness down here, so you have like this kind of like awkward single layer that tightens up around the leg. And so when this rides up, it's a little bit annoying because then this kind of folds in. So that was something that kind of irked me with these shorts. And another issue that I have with these shorts for lifting is I'm not the biggest fan of the waistband security. When going into deeper hinges, one day I had to actually like crank this waistband super tight because I like noticed like it was kind of sliding down more than I would prefer. So definitely something to keep in mind. I'm not the biggest fan of the waistband security and how it kind of performs regarding like laying flat on the waist and staying up, especially in the context of deeper hip flexion or like hinge focused exercises. For versatile training, the short did an okay job. It's light enough, I think, for most cross training contexts. It does hold sweat more than other shorts because it is 100% polyester, so that is something to consider with this model. And with its overall security, I think you should be set in most training settings when it comes to versatile workouts. Now again, I think the liner and the waistband are the shortcomings of this short for versatile training. And if you have thicker thighs, you're gonna be constantly having to pull these down, in my opinion, because the liner is gonna ride too tight and that will inevitably pull up the shell. Unlike for thinner thighs, where I don't think you're gonna have that issue whatsoever. So in the context of versatile training, the short does an okay job. Something that I am concerned about with the short though is just the overall quality of the stitching. And when you are doing like plyometrics and more ballistic movements where you're putting a lot of stress into the short, I'm concerned about its long-term durability. But again, I guess you get what you pay for with this short. For shorter runs, this is not my favorite short. It's a little bit too heavy, and honestly, with the pocket system and with the lack of pocket on the compression liner, I like to run with my phone so I have music. This is not really a short you can do that with, so definitely food for thought. If you do want a short for short runs, I would say probably pass on this model just because there are little things that make it not so stellar in that performance context. In the context of daily wear, the short does an okay job if you don't have stuff in your pockets. If you want a training short that you can wear out and about and then to the gym and have stuff in your pockets and not look super awkward, you might want to pass on this short because with the pocket system, they run wicked deep and they kind of poke out, which is not my favorite feature of this short. So when it comes to the price of the LRD training shorts, you can expect to pay around $33 USD. Now, some colorways are marked up a little bit higher on Amazon, but they are constantly on sale for $33. And when you look around on Google, these shorts all come in at like $33. So I'm guessing that's kind of like the baseline price point, and maybe Amazon just does that like markdown to get people to buy more. Either way, $33 for this short, I think is a pretty fair deal, especially for what this short offers. I compare this short mostly to like the bare bottom base short. That short costs around $50 USD. This short I find to be very similar and honestly costs less. So in that context, this short's value does deliver. Now, what I would say is that if you do invest in these shorts, rotate them in with other pairs of shorts and be very careful with how you're washing them. If you do that, I think you'll get more out of the short for your money. But if you're going really hard in the short every single day and using them for everything, I could see the durability of these shorts being a problem, which would then be a knock against their lower price point. All right, so now let's answer the question, who should buy the LRD training shorts? So first off, I think if you have thinner or more moderately muscular legs, or just like normal legs at that when it comes to the muscle composition on them, I think you will resonate with this short's fit and you will be like the prime contender for somebody who should be looking into the short. I also think the short could be a good option for anybody needing a short for lifting or more cross-training focused sessions. And if you plan to rotate this short in with other shorts, you'll get a lot more out of this model. So those are the main contexts where I think this short makes sense. Now, who shouldn't buy this short? Once again, if you have thicker or more muscular legs and glutes, you'll want to pass on this short because I don't think you're going to get the waistband security you want, and also the liner is going to be exceptionally tight for your needs. I also think you should pass on this short if you want a short that can do a little bit of everything, especially more short runs, outdoor workouts, because with some of the quality and stitching issues I'm seeing with my shorts, I'm not convinced they're going to last a long time if you're putting them through very high volume, high demanding sessions. Overall though, these shorts have performed pretty well. I would just say before you invest in them, really make sure your context fits fits where I think the short is gonna perform their best. All right, so when it comes to the sizing and fit in the LRD training shorts, a couple of metrics that you should know. I'm 6 foot tall, around 180 pounds, around a 32-inch waist, and my thigh is in between like 22 to 23 inches thick, around like that midpoint of the thigh, basically where the liner falls on most shorts. Now, I went with a medium. A medium is designed to fit a 31 to 32 inch waist. The waist fits pretty true overall. I actually wish it was a little bit more secure because with its overall construction, I found that it pulls down a little bit during deep hip flexion. So the waistband construction is interesting, but something that I think is worth noting with these shorts is that for a medium, the shell of this short has a circumference of 26.5 inches, and then the liner has a circumference of 19.5 inches. So that 19.5 versus my 23-inch thigh, I think caused a little bit of conflict, and I think that's why the liner feels so tight for most guys, and that's why I also recommend, if you have thicker thighs, passing on the short, because even with an extra large, you have a liner circumference of 21.5 inches, which is still less than my legs, which I would consider as like normal size muscular legs. And so if you have thicker thighs and thicker glutes, pass on these shorts entirely. For everyone else, I think you should be safe going true to size in these shorts. Now, obviously, if you have a slimmer waist and very thick thighs, then you might want to also pass on these shorts, because with the security of the waist and with how tight that liner is, I'm not convinced sizing up will even be the best call for your needs. All right, y'all, that wraps up my review of the LRD training shorts. Overall, for $33 USD, these have been pretty stellar. I'd put them in the same categories like the bare bottom base shorts that do cost $50. So these shorts cost a little bit less and they perform virtually the same. If you have additional questions on these shorts, hit me in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram. And also please ask if you have sizing questions. I don't want you to invest in these shorts just to return them, because truthfully, for their lower price point, it's gonna be a pain in the butt, I think, just to return them. So you might as well get the sizing right the first time. With that being said, guys, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.